G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. Hope you're ready for another cocktail. This one is a bit of a modern classic called the Brass Rail. Now this one is actually inspired by a woman called Helen David. She is somewhat of an icon of 20th century bartending and her birthday is the 24th of March, which is why I'm making this to coincide with her birthday. She died in 2006, but prior to that, her career is amazing. She was actually born in an apartment above what would become her bar, where she worked for 70 years and trained God knows how many bartenders. I'm getting the name right. One was her cousin Tony Abou-Ganim, who's a quite famous bartender in America these days. He's one of the best known bartenders in America. I think he is head barman at one of the big casinos in Vegas at the moment. But he's in the Bartender Hall of Fame, all these things. But he created this cocktail in memory of his cousin Helen, the Brass Rail, because that was the name of her bar in Michigan. And she was fond of Benedictine, so he made sure the cocktail included Benedictine. And we're going to make it now. Let's get going with a Brass Rail. First up, the primary component of this cocktail is rum. The recipe I saw recommended an aged rum, something's aged 6 to 10 years. I've got this one, this is a Flor de Cana aged 7 years. And one of the Flor de Cana big claims is they don't add sugar. And you will often get people who are like real rum snobs will look down their nose at you if you happen to like a particular rum that has added sugar. They go, it's added sugar, that's not herbal, well, that's not proper. Flor de Cana doesn't have added sugar, but one of my favorite rums just for sipping, Diplomatico Reserva, does have added sugar. And when I mentioned on an online forum that I like that, I did have someone go, this is gonna have sugar. Like, calm the fuck down, dude, okay? I like drinking it. I like this too. You can actually tell the difference between one that's got added sugar and one that doesn't. But this is quite good. So first up, it's 1 2/3 ounces of rum or 50 mils of rum going into our drink. As I mentioned before, this has Benedictine in it, one of the better known herbal liqueurs. We're just going with half an ounce, 15 mils of Benedictine. That's it for the booze. We're also going to add half an ounce of lemon juice. I have some I squeezed earlier. Hey look, if all you can get is bottled, don't let people bully you. But if you can get fresh squeezed, all the better. So we're going to add half an ounce, 15 mils of lemon juice. We're also adding 1/3 of an ounce or about 10 mils of sugar syrup. Again, you can buy it in a shop, but it's so easy to make your own. Just, 50% sugar, 50% water. Warm it on the stove. Don't boil it, but warm it on the stove if you want to make it easier to actually mix the sugar in. This is some I made earlier. Again, if you go store-bought, okay, but it's so easy to make. 50-50 sugar syrup, and we're just going 1/3 of an ounce or 10 mils of sugar syrup. Now the original recipe also calls for an egg white. It's going to be a foamy cocktail. I am using an egg white substitute, Wonder Foam. There are a few products like this on the market. You add a few drops and you get the foaming effect without having to use an egg white. There's a few reasons people don't like egg whites. Sometimes people are vegan, sometimes they're worried about salmonella. And you can also, as an alternative, you can use aquafaba or chickpea juice to get the same effect. Because I've got the Wonder Foam, I'm going to use that. But if you're using egg white, now's the time where you add 1 egg white or about 15 mils of egg white. Now this is a shaken cocktail. If you're using an egg white, you'll want to dry shake it first. So that's shaking it without ice, then add ice and shake it again. You might, look, if you want to do the reverse dry shake, knock yourself out. To my mind, the whole idea of reverse dry shake, which is shaking with ice, then without ice, it's like a bartender's superstition. It's like voodoo. It's like sacrificing a chicken on a full moon. Look, if you think that makes a difference, you do you. But it's unnecessary. If you're using egg white, you do a dry shake first to emulsify the egg so it gets foamy, and then shake it again with ice to chill the drink. Because I'm using the Wonder Foam, I'm not worrying about a dry shake. I've just added ice to my shaker, put it together, bang it in hard and shake it really, give it a good solid shake for at least 10-15 seconds. Now I'm going to strain this into a coupe. If you're using egg white, or if you're worried about little ice chips, very much recommend you do a fine strain. I'm just going to use a Hawthorne strainer to do the straining into my glass. You see the Wonder Foam, I'll just put that down. The Wonder Foam has given it a nice foamy head. But more important than the looks, all the looks are important, what does it taste like? Well, I'm going to say Helen taught her cousin well. That is a really nicely balanced drink. Obviously the type of rum you use is going to have a big effect on this drink. I'm very happy with my choice. Oh, I think this is a fitting tribute to someone who served so many people and was such a big part of her community for so long. Almost 70 years. That's just a phenomenal effort. So yes, on her birthday to Helen, happy birthday. The brass rail is for you and is a really nice treat as well. Yep, that one definitely has my vote. It's very interesting, the Benedictine's in there, but I wouldn't call this a very herbal drink. To me, what's most noticeable is the rum and lemon, and the Benedictine is supporting that. It's underneath it as a very nicely balanced drink, well worth a go. I would definitely recommend you try the brass rail, not least because it's a tribute to a fairly amazing woman. But also it's a very nice drink. So I think if you like rum drinks, this would be a nice variation, because particularly in the tiki style drinks you don't get a lot of herbal elements. So this would be a nice variation if you've been drinking a lot of different rum drinks. But I'm going to leave you with that thought. I hope to see you again soon. So yes, please come back. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, it'd be great if you did subscribe. Hit the little notification bell so you know when I upload videos, because I upload a few, 2 or 3 a week, and I'm having a lot of fun exploring the world of cocktails, and I hope you can join me in doing that. In the meantime, look after yourself, look after the people around you, and I hope to see you again soon. Until then, I will say cheers.